Hello, and today I got a really good one for you. I want to talk about a really special card that needs attention. If you don't know what it is, it's Mutamorphosis. That's right. Very interesting card. Let's read it together real quick if you don't know what it does. Tribute 1 Fusion or Synchro monster. Then, special summon a monster from your deck with the same level as the tributed monster's original level, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Mutamorphosis per turn. Now, there's a lot of ways to abuse this card, but before I even go into that, let's talk about a little bit of what we kind of want to do with such a special card, right? Such a fusion heavy card here. There's a lot of cards that can really take advantage of Mutamorphosis, right? That doesn't just go into fusions naturally, right? Some cards that, especially I want to go over them. But first, I really want to just jump into one that's going to make the most advantage of it right now, and that's going to be the Runic cards, right? Let's take them as a great example, right? Runic cards, you could basically, if you have any Runic card, you could special summon a series of monsters, fusion monsters, straight from your extra deck into the extra monster zone. You run about 20 Runic cards anyways, so that's about half your deck if you're playing a 40-card deck. And look at this, you could special summon any level 2, 3, 4, 5, or 9 on demand. And what that really means is if you have any kind of 2-card combo, right? Very easy to have. You should at least have 1 Runic card in your hand, especially if you're running 20 in a 40-card deck. That's 50% chance for any 1 card to be a Runic card. So if you're talking about a 5-card hand, 2.5 of those should be Runics. So you're okay to sprinkle in Mutamorphosis in a deck like this, where now you have a Runic card, and your Mutamorphosis can basically get you any 2, 3, 4, 5, or 9 monster. Very, very strong. And let's just take the 2s, for example. Remember, we could tribute the fusion monster. So not only that, we're going to clear that extra monster zone too. That could come very, very helpful later. But what can we do with, let's say we're taking the 2, right? Well, for example, maybe we might want to run Sprite, use Sprite. Or some card, Hyperia, for example, if you're just running straight Runics and you just want to draw a card, Hyperia draws you a card when it's summoned on the turn, or like I said, goes good with Sprite. But there's another thing I really want to highlight too here, and remember, it says return it to the hand during the end phase. So that means even if you use these cards, they'll return it to the hand. But how can we abuse that power? Well, remember, we're getting rid of this card, so what if we send some kind of hand traps out? Remember, these are going to return to the hand. So now, remember, Master Duels now recently had Cyframe Gear Gamma go to 1. TCG has it as 1. So you could send out Cyframe Gear Gamma with Mutamorphosis, and it goes back to the hand. Or if you're playing Master Duel again, summon Maxi and don't do anything with it. Don't tribute it. Don't, just let it come back to the hand. And now you got a very powerful combo with Mutamorphosis. Very, very strong. Again, very, very underrated card. We can do a lot with this card. And this is just a small example, a little, what do they call that? An appetizer, as you will, if you go out to a nice restaurant, right? It's just an appetizer of the things Mutamorphosis can do. Mutamorphosis also has, again, there's other cards that could just special summon. I'm gonna show some of these. For example, these can just be cards that will just fusion summon a monster. Very easy. Look. You can get these straight from the extra deck. Ready Fusion gets a fusion monster from the extra deck. Instant Contact. You could just special summon a level 7 or lower elemental hero monster from your extra deck. Very, very easy to search that card too if you're playing elemental heroes. So again, if you're running these kind of 1-card combos or a deck that goes very into combo heavy and then gets a fusion monster at the end, and then you actually, it's a fusion monster that just searches and you want to just now turn that into whatever generic material you want. The ocean is your oyster here, right? I want to say. But here's something very interesting too. It's not just the fusion cards themselves that can get monsters. The monsters themselves. Sometimes some decks have monsters that just come out of the extra deck for whatever reason. Very easy to come out. For example, Chaos Angel, you just need a 6 and a 4. You can get the effect of Chaos Angel. A lot of people just use Chaos Angel, for example, by turning a 6 and a 4 into a 10. You don't even need a tuner when you're using Chaos Angel. You just need a dark and a light monster on the field, or a dark or a light monster. That's basically that equals 10. No tuner required with that. So very easy to get out. A lot of people just use it to send a card to banish a card on the field, and then now you just have this monster sitting around, especially if you didn't make it with a dark and a light. Let's say you just made it with dark. Now you just have a random Chaos Angel. Well, now you could turn to any level 10. Something like Egyptian God Slime, if you just have a level 10 Aqua monster, maybe that's not too rare. But something like Vicious Astrolard, these are just kind of like cards that could just come out of the extra deck, use their effect, and then sometimes they just stay there and we just use them as material or something. And a lot of decks do have these contact fuses. Think of ninjas, a lot of things like that. They just come very, very easy. Anyways, I'll let you guys think about what you want to do with that. But here's the thing too I want to talk about before we lock in Mutamorphosis, a card. A lot of people are saying, well, I don't really like that we have to tribute a fusion or a synchro monster. What kind of value am I getting? I'm kind of losing value in that. And I do want to talk about, it's very similar, actually, if we're running cards like Cyanide Mining, Small World, 1 for 1. All of these cards are inherently 2 for 1. Just like that, right? Cyanide Mining, discard a card. Very close to 1 for 1, actually, where you're sending a monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon a monster, because Mutamorphosis also special summons the monster too. So very, very important that we get that effect. And Small World, again, it's a 2 for 1. And it's also very close to Small World. So it's kind of like a hybrid between Small World and 1 for 1, because Small World can really search out any sort of card from your deck so long as you build the bridge right. And that's the power of Mutamorphosis. It can really do that stuff. And I really want to show it in action to give you an example. But before I do that, I do want to also mention, if you like talking about tech cards or you like seeing me review mathematical videos, come give the channel a sub or a like if you're already subbed. And also join our Discord if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to that in the comments below, in the description below. We got one of the fastest growing Discords. We have so much strategy and deck reviews that we do there too. And we've got, if you think I'm smart, some of the members that are in my Discord are going to blow your minds. I've got some really big-brained people that help out and work on the Discord as well. Big shout out to them. A lot of big brain members in the Discord also that help you build your decks, review your decks. And it's just a lot of very, what do I want to say? A lot of tight-knit community too. Very, very good. Anyways, come check that out. All right, now here we go. I'm going first. Let's take a look at my hand here. What we're going to do here, take a look at this. Very, very interesting analyze. I'm running the one copy of the Psyframe Gear Gamma, and I like it with Mutamorphosis because remember, we can bring it back to the hand. And what's very interesting, if this was a hand where I'm regularly playing without Mutamorphosis, what do I do here, right? Well, let me get rid of the Psyframe Gear Gamma because I'm not going to be able to use it because I'm going to have cards on the field, and he didn't do anything there. I'm trying to pop off of Triple Text Talent. Nothing goes through. And if I didn't have Mutamorphosis, that would have been the end of my turn. I really couldn't have been able to do anything because he didn't do anything to make my Triple Text Talent live, and I can't really do anything with Runic Destruction. So that would have just ended my turn right there. Thankfully, I have Mutamorphosis, and what am I going to go into? I'm going to go into some fish, baby. Didn't see that coming. Gishki Grimness goes very well. Is a level 2 as well with the Runic card. So take a look at that kind of deck if you want to. Very, very strong deck. I love running the Gishkis. Now you can see I'm able to pop off. And because of that, maybe I'm trying to, maybe if he could do something to do Triple Texas Talent, make it turn that live. And I'm just going to pop off, and he can't handle it. He's like the Grinch when he sees people having a good time on Christmas. Just can't handle it, and he taps out. So very good use of Mutamorphosis there. But what else? How else can we use it? Let's see. All right, here we go in this replay again here. I have the Psyframe Gear Gamma again and Mutamorphosis. I do want to point out that you have a 12.5% chance to get Psyframe Gear Gamma in your hand if it's at 1. And Mutamorphosis, if you run it at 3 copies, you have a 33% chance about to get it. Very, very important. I do want to also note that here's something very interesting. I don't recommend that you play 3 Mutamorphoses unless you're running a very, very Fusion Summon heavy deck or you can guaranteed get your card. I would probably run Mutamorphosis at 2. Which is about a 22 to 24% chance, roughly, to get it. And here he goes. He's going to affect Veil or me. I'm choosing not to call by the grave, just in case he has a Maxi or something. And I could do my plays anyways. So, very, very interesting there. I can go do my plays here. And I have everything I need. So, here's a good example of using Mutamorphosis when you have what you need. I'm just going to get Maxi. Because guess what? Remember, Mutamorphosis has the best ability to bring the card at the end of the turn back to the hand. So now I'm going to do all of my sprite plays for those of you that don't know, that you can just do all the like cool little sprite plays. I'm gonna have a nice card here, nice card there, right? Got a spell negate, got a monster negate, got a called by the grave to protect the Maxi from an Ash Blossom, and these guys are protected by the Sprite Elf. Let's go. Nice and simple there, baby. And look at that. Maxi comes back to the hand. I don't like to shotgun my Maxis just in case they still have that one Cyframe Gear Gamma, but now might be, it's a better time to do that than before. And he is using Imperm. I don't know if he knows if he's forced to target it or if he needed to target it there, but I think he misplayed. Maybe he didn't read. This is also Masters level gameplay, by the way, and he taps out. Maybe he didn't read. Master Duel players do not read, and that's how you win with Mutamorphosis with that. So another interesting use, and I have one final really important use of Mutamorphosis next. Now, this final use of Mutamorphosis is perhaps the most important use of Mutamorphosis that I could show you. Too often or not, I want to say YouTubers do not show this side of the game, and I think it's very, very important to show this. Now, I'm highlighting Mutamorphosis as one of the really, really good tech cards. Now, let's see this play here. I had some sprite cards, did a little magic there. Hugin, I get to discard a card from my hand, and I get to add a Runic field spell, right, to get my Runic play started. Now, I have 2 additional Runic cards, and I have a negate in case he tries to Ash Blossom. So actually what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pitch Mutamorphosis. That's right, pitching Mutamorphosis, because I'm thinking that the draw 3 is going to be more beneficial than the maybe getting like a Maxi or something back to my hand because I have the Sprite combo. So too often or not, I was hyping up Mutamorphosis this whole video, but now here in the final penultimate thing, I say, you know what? I'm pitching the Mutamorphosis, and that's the right play. Sometimes your best cards aren't the option, right? Here, I'm going for a more utility play. I'm going for a little gamble. I'm going to draw 3. And you know what else I consider too? I could possibly draw into a Mutamorphosis because I'm going to thin my deck with all of the Sprite cards here, right? I'm thinning my deck, and so I'm weighing my options. And a lot of times, that's what you have to do when you're playing these games at a high level. You really want to take what's going to really be your best option. And for me here, now I'm going to use this to, I'm locked into level 2s because of Sprite. So I do have a second Hugin. That's right. I run 3 Hugins because of that, because I do lock myself into level 2s. So here we go. I'm going to draw 3. I have 28 cards. So that means I have a chance to draw. I'm going to draw 3. I have a chance to even draw Mutamorphosis anyways. I have a 2 out of 28 for the first draw, then a 2 out of second, 2 out of 27 for the second draw, and a 2 out of 26 for the third card. Pretty good odds, I would say, to get a Mutamorphosis. Not the best, but I can also draw into more hand traps, into more Runic cards. There's a lot of good stuff here, so let's see what happens here. Hoping to draw into a Mutamorphosis, and I don't draw into Mutamorphosis, and that's okay because I did draw into my other copy of Freezing Curse. I'm going to go into my Sprite plays. I did draw into a Sprite Double Cross, which is also good. And when it's got a Sprite Jet, which I didn't need, but I did hit on 2 out of my 3 cards, and look at that. I think it's very important for YouTubers to show the other side of Yu-Gi-Oh! Too, where sometimes the best play is to not use the play that they are highlighting. And something I am gonna get highlighted is I'm gonna get burned here for 600, and I'm now getting under assault. I'm getting assaulted by a back row deck. And actually, my deck is weak to these kinds of decks because I can't attack for game when I play these cards. My win condition is to banish them because I'm playing this, and I have 33 cards to go, and now I have to survive an onslaught of a burn deck, which is not very good. But how am I going to play around this? Well, I'm going to immediately start. He set these cards, so that means they can't be played if they're traps. So I'm going to immediately start whittling them away before he can start whittling my life points away. I'm going to use IP Masquerena to banish one of the cards. I decided to, this is my own little philosophy. I always like to, I saw how he put them in a row like that. I always think people put their favorite cards down first. So I think it's just subconscious because I do that when I'm like, ooh, I like this card. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll put this card down. So I always try to banish their first card that they put down first, which was a Skull Invitation, which would have burned me for 300 for every card that gets sent to the graveyard there. So very, very interesting. It's his turn, so he can't really do anything yet, but he has another card that he's going to set on his turn, passing it back to me. Remember, I couldn't really attack. I'm going to try to get my Cap Shell. Cap Shell draws me a card every time. He's going to inflict 300 damage for every card I control. I'm just going to make sure I'm not going to use Sprite Carrot yet to negate that. Because I can get rid of some cards off my field so I don't take too much damage. So let me just get rid of that a little bit, right? He's gonna combo. He has another Skull Invitation. That would have burned me for big damage. So let me now use my card so I get the maximum banishes while getting rid of some cards in my hand. And he's gonna combo now, give me a Bad Luck Blast. That's gonna target a monster. Luckily for me, my monsters are protected, so he's gonna have to target my Sprite Carrot there. And let's see what happens here. Oh, I take 500 damage, and I get to banish 5 of his cards. And every card of mine now that goes to the graveyard, I'm going to take an additional 300 damage. Sutton burns me for 1,500 there. That's a big blast. And oh, I'm getting burned. I'm getting whittled down like the pencil and the pencil sharpener. And he gets the Trap Trick. Trap Trick can grab any card he wants, and he chooses a Secret Barrel. He gets to choose any trap, and that Secret Barrel, that means that's very important for me to negate. So I'm going to hold on to that. He's getting burned for a little bit here, and I need to negate this now because I'm going to take a lot of damage for all the cards I control. I could have maybe even pitched Maxi there, and oh, I need to summon a card here. I'm using my Freezing Curses to summon my ace in the deck here. By the way, stopping that with their Moonin, the Runic Wings, very important to have in my deck also, because it gains me 1,000 life points at the end of my end phase, and I'm getting burned here. I feel like the kid in the classroom that everyone's making jokes on, a roast session right now. That's how I'm constantly getting burned. And what's going on here? I'm going into Iperia here to draw a card, and I think he taps out because he realized that because of Moonin right there, I was just going to get too much life points. And at the end of my turn, and I was going to slowly win that grind game. I'm very good in the club, you know what I'm saying? I'm very good at grinding. Anyways, I love my grind decks. But I did want to show sometimes the best use of Mutamorphosis is to not use Mutamorphosis. And I think YouTubers don't show that enough, that side of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where sometimes the best play isn't the best play. You know what I'm saying? Like the play that they're highlighting to get these great highlights. No, we want to use the best available move available. And in my mind, I took a gamble that it was going to be Mutamorphosis. I had the negates, and I think it played out correctly, as you saw, because what would I grab? Maybe a Maxi, you know what I'm saying? Because I had all my Sprite plays anyways. So, very, very interesting. I just wanted to show you these replays, how you can use Mutamorphosis to your advantage. And I was playing it at 3 copies there to turbo it out. I think the correct ratio is to probably run it at 2 copies if you're going to play it with a Sprite variant there, how I was playing it. I was running it at 3 copies so I can, when I'm playing ranked, I can see it more often to maybe have some more replay stuff to show you. But you can even see, even in the games where I drew it, one of the games, the best option was to not use it. Anyways, I hope you liked this video, the analysis of the tech card Mutamorphosis, and let me know how you guys use that card. Again, you could use it in crazy kind of combos, cards that just special summon from wherever, you know what I'm saying? They got a special summon from Uncle Pete's house, or wherever they're special summoning. Anyways, give this a like and sub, come join the Discord. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.